finish. Knocks down to 3. Yes, sir. Mark Ping is going right at Simon Sandagon.
Down the basket and one.
A brand new chapter unfolds in the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League.
This year, new coaches, new acquisitions, nagpalipat-lipat ng teams ang ating mga star players na kung
It's
napakarami.
going to be a really good preseason para dito sa ating mga players.
Well, when he trying to answer, anong magagawa mo? Abra, El Defonso, just a cut above the rest. Manzano is blocked. Manzana puts it in and one. Rebound, Molina inside. Echo Serrano. The Quezon Huskers, the Abra Solid North Weavers, are moving on to the finals of your 2026 MPBL preseason invitational.
Some rivalries don't need a title on the line to affirm its relevance, and that is the case for two powerhouse teams who will clash tonight in the Christmas capital of the Philippines. We are live from the historic Brenzy Yao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga, as you witness a rematch of last year's finals in the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. And for the Quezon Huskers, they have retooled their roster. Enter Angeles City's own Jolo Manansala, a versatile defender, and he will be tasked to guard the reigning MPBL MVP in Dave Ildefonso as he continues to show a lot of new weapons in his arsenal this preseason. But Junel Fuentes remains one of the more prominent offensive threats para dito sa Quezon Huskers, and he will go head-to-head against the guy, the most championships in the MPBL, that is Encho Serrano, also part of those back-to-back titles with the Pampanga Giant Lanterns. It's the two-time South Division champions Quezon Huskers going up against the reigning and defending champs, the ABRA Solid North Weavers. Magandang gabi mga kaliga, Ken Pangilinan with Coach Mike Perez. Before we even dive our discussion with ABRA and Quezon, what about the honoring of the two-time defending champions on their home floor, the Pampanga Giant Lanterns?
Yeah, it was actually a celebration para dito sa Pampanga Giant Lanterns, back-to-back champs. And of course, I feel it's added motivation to these two teams that will show up tonight because Quezon Huskers seeing the two teams right now on the floor that actually beat them in the finals. And of course, the Abra Weavers trying to do what the Giant Lanterns did, a back-to-back, an opportunity for them this season.
At syempre, batiin natin yung mga nanonood sa atin live on our official MPBL YouTube channel. And we bring in our courtside reporter, Miss Andrea Indicio. And Andrea, nakikita natin no, yung competitive spirit between these two teams is still there. Pero very different vibes this time around between Abra and Quezon.
You know what, Ken? It's actually fascinating to know na kahit na dalawang player lamang yung pag-uusapan natin na mula dito sa dalawang koponan na ito, both team mentioned na malaki yung pinagbago ng kanilang koponan with the departure of these two players. For Quezon, nabanggit nga sa akin ni Coach Eric Gonzalez that without LJ Gonzalez, Quezon is a totally different team. Pero ang mas mabigat daw dito is yung fact na lagpas kalahati sa kanilang team ngayon yung mga bagong players. Para naman sa side ng Abra, Coach Yong Garcia mentioned that with the departure of Jason Brickman, it's totally different dynamics yung nangyari daw ngayon sa kanilang koponan, and malaki yung naging adjustment, but he sees light with the addition of Nico Elorde. Well, at the end of the day, when a veteran player leaves a team but is replaced with a fellow veteran player, that seems to be a problem that can be easily solved. Right, gentlemen?
Siyempre naman, maraming salamat, Andrea. Yung binanggit ni Andrea, no, dalawang floor generals for their respective squads. Talking about itong Abra and Quezon. Abra with the departure of Jason Brickman, and wala na rin for Quezon si LJ Gonzalez. Pero Coach Mike, punta natin ang ating updated playoff bracket. We started with 18 teams. Pero bagamat maraming pagbabago sa iba't ibang kupunan, yung dalawang kupunan na ito yung naghari pa rin in their respective groups, itong ABRA and QUEZON.
Well, I think more importantly is that akala natin yung rematch na ito ng 2025 National Finals was gonna happen maybe later this year, but the fans are really getting it very early here in the preseason. It's the undefeated powerhouse of the North against the resilient Kings of the South. We'll see what gives and different ways of getting here, but definitely the same goals for both these teams.
Well, the Quezon Huskers, they finished with a record of 7-1 entering the finals. Pero nagkaroon sila ng bye, no? In the playoffs, they waited for that winner between Batangas and Mindoro. And here, against Batangas, Coach Mike, they were up by as many as 17 points. Humabol din yung Rum Masters in the second half, but ultimately pulling out all the stops in the end.
Oh, back and forth yung labanan na yun. The pressure was highest, but that was when Quezon really showed up their championship boys. Jidel Fuentes and Mike Cañete combined for points in approaching the 2-minute mark. And then later on, pagpasok na nung Twilight Zone, ika nga, nandun na. Nakita mo na yung performance ni Cyrus Tabi as well as ni Jolo Manansala.
Quezon, this is their 4th season, pagpasok sa 8th season natin. Pero the last 2 seasons, back-to-back finals appearances for the Huskers.
Oo, totoo naman yun. And that back-to-back finals appearance really shows you that in a 3-year span time, this franchise has really done well, not just in the game of basketball. I'd like to think on the culture side as well. And so you see that drive, not just from the management, the coaches, but even the players, which really want you to be a fanatic also of the Quezon Huskers.
Quezon came in Season 5, while ABRA came in a year later in Season 6. Nadapa sila as well in the first round, pero nanalo ng championship last year. In the preseason, not much different, but they got tested here by the San Juan Knights, particularly late in the 4th quarter.
Yep. Game of champions, actually. It was a game of runs, a game of grit with the streak on the line. Abra stayed solid. Late game heroics of Encho Serrano. Really, the Weavers held on of the Knights to claim that the thriller of a game. They didn't just win that game. It was actually a message sent that, bring it on. Any challenge that's going to be in our way as we try to get another championship, they will be up to perform for it.
And I hope our viewers saw the date on the graphic, no? Dahil March 19 of last year, huling natalo sila Kong JB Bernos and the rest of the ABRA Solid North Weavers.
Oh, totoo naman yun. And that date when they won against the San Juan, really, in my opinion, a milestone for them. It was a date that they really wanted to change things up, especially as they head into this Season 8.
Siyam na panalo dito sa ating preseason. Dagdag mo pa yung 36-game winning streak in the regular season. And one of the guys responsible for that is the most successful player here in the MPBL in Encho Serrano.
Yeah, the most MPBL title of any player. 23, 24, and 25. 3 titles on 3 successive years. And really, just shows you that he, again, this season, I'd like to believe, is ready to weave his magic this time for the Weavers.
And when it's winning time, you can count on Encho Serrano to deliver para dito sa ABRA Solid North Weavers. Pero pinag-usapan din ni Andrea na marami na dagdag para sa magkabilang kupunan. We focus our attention on these 2 players in our player matchup, playing different positions, Coach Mike, but certainly the impact very noticeable for these 2 gentlemen here.
Yeah, one of the things really that both these teams have done is to bring in new talent. And these 2 guys, I'd like to think on the wing side that really helped them shore up that skill set. And what you see here, I'd like to focus on the usage rate. You see, they only have 14% usage. What that tells you is that on every offensive possession, ang usage rate is gaano sila yung tumatapos ng possession, sila yung nakaka-score, sila yung nakaka-rebounds. And right now, when you look at 14%, that's pretty much below an average player. And what we're saying here is that there is still a lot more to see from John and even from Tucker Molina. These 2 guys, I'd like to think, naghahanap pa ng tamang chemistry, trying to fit into the system of both their respective teams. But surely, when that season comes, they will be at their best in the season number 8.
And those 2 guys are with Andrea.
That is right, Ken. Unahin ko na muna ang aking nasa kaliwa. John, before you came into this team, Quezon actually fell short against ABRA in the national finals. What do you think will be the main difference now that John Abate is with the Huskers?
Hopefully, I can provide the best I can, with scoring, passing, facilitating, and ultimately being a leader. But we have a lot of new components, so it's not even just me. We have a whole new team.
That is beautiful. Do you have a message to the fans of the Quezon Huskers?
I just want to say thank you for your continued support. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Hope to see y'all in the future games.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you and your team. Dumako naman tayo sa aking kanan. And Tucker, it's actually amazing that even though you came to a loaded team, you were able to make yourself known. But what do you think was your biggest impact with the ABRA team? Or simply put, what can Tucker Molina bring to the table?
Coming to a team like ABRA, like you said, it's loaded. I think just being able to spread out my skill set and do whatever the team needs, whether that's play 4, play 3, get up shots, or go rebound, set screens. I think I can do it all. So, yeah.
Very nice. Do you also have a message to the fans of ABRA?
Thank you guys for the support. Bukai, I'll be there this weekend, and yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Good luck to you and your team as well, mga kaliga. It's Quezon versus ABRA. Miguel Ferre, take it away.
Maya Pabengi, mga kaliga, and it's great to see you again here at the Brenzigyao Convention Center in San Fernando, Pampanga. Tonight's ball game features the championship matchup of the 2026 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL preseason invitational between last season finalists, the Quezon Huskers, and the ABRA Solid North Weavers. And now, join me in welcoming the starting fives, beginning with the Quezon Huskers. Starting at guard, number 8, Christian Pagaran. At center, number 10, Cedric Manzano. Forward, number 41, Joshua Hierro. Also at forward, number 3, Mike Cañete. And at one guard, number 11, John Abate. The head coach for the Quezon Huskers is Eric Gonzalez. Assistant coaches Richie Tixon, Ed De La Torre, Luis Velasco, Jonathan De Guzman, Nash Rosella, Bernard Digilla, and Councilor Jeric Teng. Team managers Attorney Don Capunan. The team owners are Governor Dr. Helen Tan, Congressman Mike Tan, and Mayor Ralph Lim. And now, the starting five for the reigning and defending MPBL champions, the ABRA Solid North Weavers. Starting at center, number 88, Drex De Los Reyes. Power forward, number 24, John Uduba. At guard, number 8, the Clay, Mike Ayonayon. At forward, number 1, the MPBL 2025 season MVP, the Sheriff, Dave Ildefonso. And at two guard, number 2, the 3-time MPBL champion from Apalit, Pampanga, Encho Serrano. The head coach for the ABRA Solid North Weavers is Yong Garcia. Assistant coaches, Sandy Epondulan, Denok Miranda, Waki Garcia, Don Uro, and Jerry Andalion. Assistant team managers, Waylon Nibaten. The team manager is Chris Conway.
Our starting five is brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL. Quezon with a backcourt of John Abate and Christian Pagaran. Up front, Ced Manzano, Joshua Hierro, and Mike Cañete. Para naman sa ABRA, Mike Ayonayon, David Defonso, John Uduba, Drex De Los Reyes, and Apalit, Pampanga's very own Encho Serrano. Referees for this ball game are Alan Manzano, Seb Pingol, and Edmar Avis. As immediately on the attack was Ayonayon, who misses. Fourth referee, by the way, is Halirik D'Amico.
And Ken, one thing that you noticed quickly in the starting five of both these teams, as Andrea reported earlier, no LJ Gonzalez, no Jason Brickman, but you see the changes here. Encho Serrano, I'd like to believe, would be playing the point for the ABRA Weavers, and John Abate would be doing the same for the Quezon Huskers.
Umatake agad si David Defonso. Baseline inbound for the Weavers. Happy to be back here at the Brenzigyao Convention Center. Kung daw nagkakamali, 6 months ago yung last time na nandito tayo, no?
Oh, feeling ko parang sobrang tagal na. It's more than 6 months since the last time we went here. And it's always a good drive going here to Pampanga.
We had that stretch where Pampanga played 4 times in a month.
Yes.
Dito sa Brenzigyao.
Yeah, hosting a lot of the games, no, here in Brenzi. And then surely, just testament to the basketball passion of the guys here from Pampanga. You see a three right there by Mike Cañete.
3-0 agad para sa Quezon. Can you imagine that 38-game home winning streak dito sa Pampanga?
Oh, yeah.
Diba?
Oh, grabe yun. And I was witness to those games. And sobrang talagang, if you talk about dominance, clearly, just the Giant Lanterns showing it off. And this guy right here was part of that winning run at home here in Pampanga.
Joshua Yero swings it to Christian Pagaran, who had a key role in that final series. Pinasahan niya si Sen Manzano, who slides in and scores.
You know, that one-sided game where they throw a little screen-to-screener action and then eventually giving it up to the short roll of Sed Manzano, who I feel is really gave them a lot of presence down on the low block.
Ito magandang matchup ito.
Oh, yeah.
Sa ilalim, De Los Reyes laban kay Manzano.
Well, size-wise, kita mo height advantage para dito kay Drex. But, you know, if you look at strength and power, you know, Manzano's also going to be in there.
Player Game is brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL.
That was the short roll by Cedric Manzano, using that left side of the floor and pretty much kaliwete. Easy finish yon, and especially late yung recovery ng depensa. Well, this Drex De Los Reyes, though, has been so good so far for the Weavers.
Playing limited minutes. But mintis nga lang. Kanyang parehong free throws.
He's actually the second best scorer pagdating sa paint points. You know? Almost 7 per game, and that's where really he's done his living.
Ganda naman ng pasahan doon.
Yeah.
Manzano to Cañete, who has 5 points already for the Huskers.
Yan ang nakikita mo sa Huskers. You know? Magandang interior passing, ball distribution, despite the absence of an LJ Gonzalez. Encho once again sees that gap down the middle of the lane, tries to go at it, and quickly, you know, the Huskers converge on him. Again, it goes back to that short roll by Sed, that extra pass over to Mike Cañete, who is really just waiting on that weak side post for that receive and that finish.
Encho Serrano at the line. MoneyPay is the digital wallet built for the community. Nakapag-download ka na ba, Coach Mike? Last game na ng preseason.
Roger that.
Ha?
Nakapag-download na. At nakangiti pa nga si Ton habang dina-download. Si Ton ang tanongin mo kung nakapag-download na.
Serrano. Supply yung pangalawang free throw. Pinakitaan ako.
Oh, yan.
Ang daming app sa phone.
Oo, ang dami.
7-3, 4-point lead for the Huskers. Pagaran on the right side. Back to Abate, who's been struggling here in the preseason. Can't hit that jumper. Ayon. Sa ilalim, Serrano. Bumagsak. At may foul na itatawag laban kay John Abate.
Well, sinusubukan ni Encho makakuha ng inside seal against John Abate. Well, easier said than done kasi may size rin tong si Abate pero may hatak nung kaliwang kamay to which, you know, forced ito si Encho Serrano down on the floor. That foul call on John.
Uduma gets replaced by Alfred Patino.
They stand out of bounds again. See that stagger for Mike.
Ayon. Pinuntahan si Patino at the elbow. Ildefonso with 9 on the shot clock. Ayon. 3-point shot is good.
Well, clearly subscribing to shooters on the corner, especially if you have a guy like Mike Ayon, who is very capable of knocking them down. Flees that side of the floor.
Macalonin, pinasok na din. Pagka siya doon, De Los Reyes. And will be called with a traveling violation. You don't see that every day, Will Macaloni.
Oo, totoo. Ito yung magandang handoff doon sa corner. There was really heavy traffic that side of the floor and they really had to give it up over to Mike.
Kumbaga, bibihira mong makita on the receiving end of that pump si Will Macaloni. LGR is the official outfitter
Totoo
of the
naman.
MPBL.
Totoo naman yun.
Abate 1-on-1 against Ayon.
Oh boy. And we talked about this earlier, top of the coverage, Ken, that usage of players like John Abate, that usage is going to go up as the season, comes in. And the bigger games really presents itself right in front of the Huskers.
Abate, the former UE Red Warrior. Pretty unfortunate that his season in the UAP, his last season, came to an abrupt end because he suffered a nose injury. So yung mga last few games niya for UE, halos hindi na siya nakalaro. But now he gets a new start with a very formidable team in the Quezon Huskers.
Oo. At saka matter of time na lang yan bago makapag-adjust itong si John. He's played in 8 games, started in a couple of them, averaged 14 minutes per game, and you know that number's gonna go up.
Libre ulit si Mike.
Again.
And he makes them pay. Back-to-back triples from Mike Ayonayon.
Mike Ayonayon is a 25% three-point shooter so far in the preseason, but he never runs out of shot attempts from there. Will Macaloni that time make sure he makes that basket.
Tabla tayo, 9-all.
Bali yung sinasabi mo kaninang yung bunggo kay Will Macaloni, no? Considerable rin kasi yung pag-trim down ito ni Will.
Yeah.
But he gains in speed. He lost some on the power side, but definitely inside he's still going to be a force to reckon with.
Alam mo bakit?
Bakit?
Takbo daw sila ng takbo eh.
Oh yeah, I narinig ko dun sa last game. That was the mention of Sedelf and Andre. Na grabe raw talaga yung conditioning at mafo-force ka talagang sumabay. Because these young guys are really challenging the veteran. Look at Will Macaloni gonna work right there.
Lost control of the basketball, so De Los Reyes so far winning their matchup. Ildefonso off that pass from Mike Ayonayon, off target from 3. Manzano corrals the miss.
And John wisely does not force the issue. Waits for his teammate, set it up the half-court set.
Pass the midway point ng ating first quarter. Macaloni, laban ulit. This time against Batino, turns around. Jumper won't fall in.
And again, they've been defending Will Macaloni very well underneath. Look at him getting challenged now on the low block against Batino, but he doesn't get that rock.
Si Hero ang nakatasan na bantayan si Dave. And also very noticeable, Coach Mike, with Quezon, they did not start some of the guys that are coming in just right now. And Cyrus Tabi and Jolo Manansala. Judel Fuentes is still on the bench, as well as Gab Banal.
And clearly, it's a strategy on the side of the Quezon Huskers. Coach Eric really just wanting, I guess, his players to see the game, feel it before they go in. And clearly, Cyrus Tabi, Pagaran, and Jolo Manansala has been very impressive in the preseason. They bring a lot to the table for the Huskers.
You may also make the case that it's the preseason. Although, kahit masasabi mong preseason, yung nilalaro ng ating mga teams. The intensity, the attention to detail of each and every team that participated here. Really spot on as we see a turnover forced by that stingy defense of ABRA, but they throw the ball away on that transition opportunity.
A little bit uncharacteristic for the ABRA Weavers right now, turning that ball over. Though that's their first turnover versus that 3 of Quezon Huskers. See there, Coach Gov.
Gov Delta Beneda.
Back-to-back champs as coach.
A.G. Gonzalez, team owner of the Pampanga Giant Lanterns, and also there, Pedic Di Matulak. Manzano, umalog palabas, pero nandoon para linisin yung pintes.
I like this combination of Sed and Will Macaloni. A little inside out. Both can play the outside. Sed can even shoot from 3 as we saw earlier. And so the flexibility on that side of the floor para dito sa Huskers.
1-point lead for Quezon. De Los Reyes backing down Macaloni. The help comes from Manzano, but nobody boxing out Dave. And he'll head back to the line for 2 more free throws.
Too much power inside that paint for the ABRA Weavers. Drex was posting up, and then you have on the weak side a dive by Dave Ildefonso, and you still got, Alfred Batino waiting for a chance to get in and get involved in that paint action. And it really is, you know, just the dominance inside the paint para dito sa Abra Weavers that's making it tough to go against them.
Ildefonso just 1 out of 4 from the line. Manzano with a one-hander.
Cedric Manzano's been pretty impressive here. He's 2 out of 3 so far. Or 3 out of 4 rather from the field.
Sa poste ulit ni Los Reyes. Whips a pass to Serrano. Lines it up for 3. Clanks off the rim. Macaloni the rebound. Tabi. Nahanap si Fuentes. Back to Cyrus. Using that Manzano pick.
Oh, nice
Off
pass.
that lift. The 3-point shot by Fuentes. No good. They will reset their offense. Talking about the Huskers.
You gotta watch out for that roll by Cedric.
Fuentes forced into a pass. Manansala can't hit the free.
Well, not quality shots that time for the Huskers. A little bit hurried, out of balance. You know, gotta pick better your shot quality if you're the Huskers.
Approaching the 2-minute mark of quarter number 1. Mike Ayon pulling up. Tapikan ng bola. Chase between Ayon and Manansala. And Jolo will pick up a foul.
But Mike Ayon has been very active here early in the first quarter, you know, getting to loose balls, making shot attempts, getting involved on the offensive side of the floor. Alan Jolo naman, he's his usual self of being always in that chase for possessions.
Now we talked about how Quezon elected Captain Marbel, MPBL president.
Yes.
He is here together with Commissioner Emerita, Legal Counsel Attorney Gakal, Boss Joe Ramos, and Daddy Rudes,
Yep.
Kuya Rudes, Tito Rudes.
Well, it's been a while since the last time we saw now President Kenneth Duremdes, huh?
Mike with 8 points after hitting both free throws. Wilkin Lee coming in.
And so far, Mike leads all scorers right now. He's got 8.
Isa ang lamang ng Quezon. Tabi sa kaliwa. Pinuntahan si Campanal.
Same action right here.
He moved the ball around. Tabi, shot clock winding down. 4 seconds remaining.
Look at that defense.
Fuentes has to put it up. Got bailed out by a foul called on Alfred Batino.
Boy, they had Jadel in a tough spot on the corner, fading to his right with Batino all over him. Yun nga, tumama lang. Dun sa shooting arm ni Jadel Fuentes. And Jadel is really, for the Huskers, the most used player so far. Getting involved in a lot of actions, and especially even late on the clock, which is why he had that ball on his hands to try and get off a shot before the 24 clock buzzer.
Fuentes, who averaged over 90% at the line last season, makes good on his first 2 free throws.
Well, that number is considerably dropped here in the preseason. He's shooting only about 65% from the line, but he still continues to be a really good three-point shooter, 33% per game.
Wilkin Lee tried to lob it up. Molina wasn't ready.
Oh,
That's
man.
the value Nico Elorde brings.
Yeah. I was going to say the same. You know, Nico knew where that ball was going to come. And even if it went middle of the floor, he still was quick enough to recover on the reject screen. And that's exactly what he did. And ball possession right now for the Weavers.
Molina laban kay Jason Opiso. Puts it on the floor. Ildefonso challenged by Macaloni. But it doesn't matter because he hits that triple right in front of Will.
Well, malinaw na malinaw. Itong preseason, talagang trinabaho ni David Defonso yung kanyang 3-point shooting. He's right now shooting at a very good 36% from that side of the floor, and he just continues to be good at it.
Dave wanted to attack Gab Banal but lost control of the basketball.
Medyo nanggigil dun sa panapos na si David Defonso eh.
25 seconds left in the first quarter. Tabi sa bandang itaas. Si Elorde kanyang bantay. Opiso. Left that one short from downtown. Macaloni. The follow-up is good. 6 seconds left. Abra trailing by 2. Elorde forcing it up and in off the glass. That will count.
Oh my. When you talk about impact, defensive end earlier, and just that toughness and that fortitude and that grit to finish amidst that defense by Cyrus Tabi, and Will Macaloni had to put a little arc on it, went glass and went in before that buzzer went off.
Nearly released it in time. Nico Elorde playing on both sides of the floor. And we have a ball game. First quarter in the books. Lamang, walang lamang dahil tabla tayo. 17 all.
Steps back into the game. What kind of impact can he make? And what a steal. That way is going to even up the game. 9 in the final moment of the game. Can they make magic? White Lounge wins the game.
Win the game. Easy long with Sports Plus.
Sports Plus is the official sports book of the MPBL. Scan the QR code to play or visit www.sportsplus.ph. Happy to have you with us here. So, chinek ko mabuti, no, Coach Mike? Last time pala na nandito tayo was way back in July of 2025. You see here in attendance, Kong JB Berno. So, that's almost, kung tama ang math ko, 8 months na. Di ba?
Oo, bilis, no?
Oo.
Ang bilis ng panahon.
Oo. Second quarter underway. Tied ball game. Cyrus Tabi, Jason Opiso, Will Macaloni, Gab Banal, and Judel Fuentes ang nasa loob para sa Quezon. 10 seconds on their shot clock. Opiso drives. And Abra picking up a foul.
I like what Jason Opiso is doing. This is the second time already that he's had this ball in his hands with the shot clock, with late in the shot clock. And alam niya na wala si Judel Fuentes na primary option nila. You know, he's got to be the one to make that decision. And you know, he's got to continue to play that way. Lalo na meron naman siyang short handles, a couple of dribbles going inside the paint, and pretty good perimeter jumper as well if you talk about mid-range.
Parehong free throw na ipasok ni Jason Opiso. Sa Abra naman, ang magkakasama sa loob, sila Wilkin Lee, Nico Elorde, Dave Ildefonso, Tucker Molina, and Raven Gonzalez. Dave Ildefonso has yet to rest here in this game. Hindi din siya nilabas ng first quarter.
Right, and he really is in there to be part of the offensive attack. Oh, loud pass right there by Jason Opiso. Too far off for Banal to even get a hold of.
Coach Eric Gonzalez entering his 4th season as the head coach of the Huskers. Extreme ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas.
Well, I thought in the first quarter, medyo contrasting yung numero versus yung performance itong dalawang team na to, because the Quezon Huskers are supposed to be the better 3-point shooting team. But then you see in the first quarter, it's actually the Weavers who had more made threes. A couple of them from Mike and one from Dave. And it really is because, you know, the defense of the Weavers just all over any paint touch and a drive and kick.
We have a timeout here. Just a little over a minute gone by in the second quarter. Quezon in front, 19-17. This was one of the most incredible series that we've had here in MPBL history in the finals. Coach Mike, lahat could have gone either way. But ABRA, those were two massive shots in overtime in game number 3. Serrano and Ildefonso putting the cherry on top on this magnificent run by the ABRA Solid North Weavers. And they are together once again as they aim for back-to-back titles. Well, for more, let's go to Andrea.
If there's one thing na pinagkapareho ng mga teams in this preseason, it's about testing the waters for the regular season. For the side of Quezon, sabi nga ni Coach Eric Gonzalez, right now he has 80% rotation players. In his own words, pati nga ako, kinakapa ako pa eh. But the good thing is, nakita niya daw ang potential ng team this preseason, saying we have a better shot this time around. Para sa ABRA naman, Coach Young Garcia said 9 to 10 players pa lang ang nasa rotation niya. Dahil, hear this out, meron pa silang hinihintay. To my surprise, I asked, parang gugulatin nyo kami, Coach, sa regular season na. He just said, well, you've seen the other teams like Caloocan, San Juan, talagang tumaas yung standard. So there's really no way but up, even for the reigning champions. Kenneth, Coach Mike.
Nalaman mo ba, Andrea, kung sino yung tinutukoy? Curious kaming lahat eh.
Tingin ko, alam na ni Andre, ayaw lang sabihin sa atin. Gusto rin niya. Siyempre, si Coach Eric na ang mag-announce. But going back to that report, Ken, you clearly see that the coaches understand the challenge that's up ahead in Season 8, but the optimism now to understand, you know, we have that level of preparation. And totoo naman yung sinabi ni Coach Eric, kinakapan pa nila yung kanilang team. And I'd like to thank the players as well, because we talked about Abate and even Tucker Molina for their respective teams. You know, that chemistry and, you know, understanding the system is also in place for them to, you know, be better at.
And you could really make a case, Coach Mike, that this upcoming season, the influx of talent, and not only that, the quality of talent coming in could be up there among the best, if not the best, in 8 seasons. Manny Pay is a digital wallet built for the community.
At saka ito na yung pagkakataon na, I don't know if you'd agree, bumabata yung liga. No? The players that are coming in are getting younger and making the most of the time and the experience that they get to spend here. Talk about, itong Quezon Huskers na lang, they were so close last season to getting that finals, even just stealing one from the home floor of the ABRA Weavers, that shot by Pagaran, and then those couple of, you know, threes made in succession by Encho Serrano and Dave Ildefonso. I was thinking in that game, talagang binibigay na nila yung 3 attempts pa doon sa dalawa, kay Dave at saka kay Encho. But man, once those shots fell, it was a different story altogether. And that game number 3 favoring the ABRA Weavers.
ABRA was trailing by 10 points late in the fourth quarter in game number 1. And then Jason Brickman came alive, hit those back-to-back threes. John Oduba at 3-point play. Pero sumagot pa si LJ Gonzalez with a three of his own before that put back again by Oduba. As you see this drive by one of the heroes in game number 1 for Quezon, Christian Pagaran.
And then you like that Christian Pagaran being at that level and making the most out of it is taking himself to the next level this season. And a lot really rides on the shoulder of a Christian Pagaran. And now, I would have had the same expectations if I'm Coach Eric.
Mintis yung tira sa tres ni Elorde. Abra has yet to score in this quarter. Before that basket, ending the drought was Raven Gonzalez.
And there is a reason why the ABRA Weavers are a force to contend with, especially in blocks per game. They are averaging close to 5 blocks per game. And a lot of that has to do with Raven Gonzalez being that main rim protector for the Weavers.
4 minutes gone by in the second period. Ayon trying to shake off Fuentes. Elorde thought about that three. Working on Diego Dario. He attacks. Throws the ball away. Pagaran on the run. Goes airborne. Got clipped by Encho Serrano.
Well, Encho had no choice. That was the best he can do, because once Christian Pagaran takes off, there is very few players that can actually go up with that leap of Christian Pagaran. There's that move going the baseline side for Christian, and to get off that shot over a really good rim protection guy in Raven shows you the level of confidence for this young man.
The pride of Lantapan, Bukidnon, Christian Pagaran. Ay pasok niya yung kanyang unang free throw.
Ang ganda ng ng percentage niya from the field. 46% from the field, 42% from 3. And he's gonna need that in the regular season.
The pass ahead to Serrano. Pump fake. Lot of contact but no whistle. Manansala on the other end. Lost control. Turnover against the Huskers. Quezon with a 3-point lead. Ildefonso bumukol sa tres. Left that one short. Rebound secured by Christian Pagaran. Halos nasa kalahati na tayo ng ating second quarter. Abate. 10 on the shot clock. They go to the corner. And now Manansala pops out. Can't hit the three. Ayon. Pass to Dave. Goes inside. Sidestep. Gets the friendly bounce.
The sharpness on those drives and those cuts and the passes, perfect on that side of the floor between Mike and Dave. And John Abate goes to work right now. And this guy really on the upside is still have a lot to offer para dito sa Quezon Huskers.
Abra suing for time as the Quezon Huskers maintaining this lead. See this play here, Ildefonso against 5 white jerseys. Wow. Clearly outnumbered but able to score. But on the other end, John Abate gets to his spot. Mid-range jumper is pure. We'll be right back after this short break. Sports Plus is the official sports book of the MPBL. Scan the QR code to play or visit www.sportsplus.ph. Just wanna greet an advance happy birthday sa aking barbero sa Barber 24, si Mark Stephen Tupingan.
Oh, yan naman.
Ha?
So siya pala yung dumadali ng mga, mga haircut mo.
Alam mo bakit?
Bakit ka mo?
Magandang lalaking partner ko. Kaya kailangan maganda rin yung gupit ko.
Easy. Nag-cookingan na naman.
Tatlo ang lamang ng Quezon, 24-21.
Quality basketball we're seeing here between these two teams. The grit and the compete. And who says this is a preseason game?
Eh, paulit-ulit natin sinasabi. Diba?
Sometimes you're reminded, see this two-man action right there. Oduba holds that screen and that spin. Ball possession para dito sa Weavers.
Serrano will trigger it in. Gives it up to Mike Ayon. Ildefonso with a second remaining, creating space. It's an air ball. Ball did not hit the rim. Shot clock violation against Abra.
And the Weavers never run out of guys inside the paint, trying to get one more, crack at the basket. Drex De Los Reyes, John Oduba, pretty much active in chasing those misses and those rebounding opportunities for them to get another crack at the basket. Middle action right here.
Bounce pass, Manzano. The flip shot won't work. Oduba the catch. Mario giving up a foul. And they call it an unsportsmanlike foul. They will review it.
I don't think that was unspo. He really was trying to give it a chase. He didn't see na malayo na pala. Kaya nung pagkabalik niya, tsaka kuha ka naman na maayos ni Diego. But we'll see if that's excessive or not.
Pero titignan nila kung pasok yan sa criteria, no?
Yeah.
Pagiging unsportsmanlike foul.
Unsportsmanlike foul on number 6, Diego Dario, his first foul.
I think it falls under criteria 1, Coach Mike.
Not
a legitimate attempt to play for the ball.
Yeah. Well, he was trying to go for the ball, pero wala, tagon-tago rin ni John Oduba yung bola. And this guy, John Oduba, not surprised on how he performed in the finals last season. You see him when he played for Parañaque, and he really's just been that workhorse of a player to which was really gained by the Weavers in that championship run.
Even the other night against San Juan, ganun din yung ginawa niya. Dami niya offensive rebound, giving them second shot, third shot opportunities.
Yeah. And he's the second best offensive rebounder. First one, of course, being Raven Gonzalez. But, that close to 3 offensive rebounds per game clearly shows you the activity and that will to go for those, opportunities to get rebounds.
Manansala to Pagaran. Quezon with Abate turning the ball over.
Well, the Weavers really giving a check on the actions of the Huskers. Oh, man.
The Weavers making the Huskers pay with that miscue. Serrano finally hits a free for his 6th point of the ball game.
And this preseason, sure, Coach JB Bernos loving that 3-point make by Encho Serrano, moving that ball around, and it goes to that weak side of the floor, and to which Encho Serrano is 40% from 3 in this preseason.
We have a timeout by Quezon. Abra retakes the lead, 26-24. Coach Mike, pinag-uusapan natin ni Andrea, daming pagbabago sa dalawang kupunan na ito. Pero the identity, at least here in the preseason, it seems like it's been being mirrored from what they did last season.
Oo, totoo naman. I mean, these two teams continue to be the top 2 teams offensively. On the defensive end of the floor, hindi rin nagkakalayo. Pero really more advantage, a little bit slightly, for the Quezon Huskers. It's the 3-point makes that's clearly been, makikita mo yung disparity. That's a plus 9 points altogether, maybe even plus 12 in favor of the Huskers as they have 3 or 4 more 3-point makes. And that clearly, even in year 1, has been one of the point of attacks para dito sa Quezon Huskers. See that drive right there by Jolo, he misses.
For context, Quezon gave up the least amount of points last season in the elimination round. Same case here in the preseason. They've shot a lot of threes, made almost 10 per game here in the preseason. While Abra, ganun din. Tops in terms of points scored at namamayani at namamayagpag in points in the paint.
Oo. At saka itong Quezon Huskers, it's really more of the hustle points, really. Second chance opportunities, and points off turnovers. Doon sila bumampawi. Pero again, a rim-running John Oduba is tough to cover, especially if he's got that defender behind him.
28-24.
That's that switch.
Pagaran, almost the same spot where he hit that shot.
Yun din ang sasabihin ko eh. It was almost the same look. You know, that pass by, was it Gabanal in that finals? This was that rim run.
Fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL.
Well, Pagaran was late to help out, as said Manzano was pretty much trailing after he was the one who made that shot earlier, and it was really just off to the races for John Oduba.
Under 2 minutes left in this quarter. Serrano against Judel Fuentes. Airballs the three. Bit of a forced shot.
Fuentes hasn't really made anything from three. He's 0 out of 3 from there. And you gotta get that lethal shooter going for the Huskers.
Pabandang tira, gagana yan para kay Mike Cañete. Cañete with 7 points.
Yan yung mga pa-pick up ng tulong galing dito kay Mike Cañete na talaga nga namang napakalaking bagay para sa Huskers. Especially at moments where medyo short runs, wala silang sagot.
De Los Reyes towering over everybody but could not convert in the paint. Credit the defense for Quezon for preventing a basket, but Abra retains possession. De Los Reyes ulit. Bubble team comes from Tabi. And they force a turnover.
And you see the gravity of that threat in Drex De Los Reyes down on the low block, going up against Will Macaloni. Had to bring a secondary defender in Cyrus Tabi to help out. Oh, that's an offensive foul on Judel. Clearly that move getting in the way of the defender.
But I think for the most part, Coach Mike Quezon, they've been doing a good job of preventing certain actions that Abra has been successful here in the preseason. On the flip side, Abra naman, maganda rin yung nagiging depensa nila. So this has been a grind-out defensive battle so far in the first 2 quarters.
Oh, totoo yan, no? This is just a very close 2-point game difference, really, for the most part. And it really boils down to defense and the execution. Look at that. Blitz right there. Oh, my.
Sumubok ng tres si De Los Reyes.
And that's the shot that you want if you're Coach Eric for the Weavers to take. A big guy who's forced outside, not in his comfort zone, not his range. He wasn't open. He was out of balance. It's exactly the quality of shot that you want to give defensively to your opponents.
Pilit masyado yun eh.
Oh.
I mean, he could probably hit that shot if he was open or if his feet were set.
Pero out of balance
cases, wala eh.
Oh, wala. That's right. Agree.
Cañete turnaround shot over Ildefonso. Can't get that one to fall. Oduba corrals the miss.
Very little difference here between the game clock and the shot clock.
In fact, pwede nang mag-last shot dito ang Abra.
Right.
Pero Quezon hindi pa penalty. Could give up a foul here. Serrano on an island. Dancing with Judel Fuentes. Pass intercepted by Banal. They still have time. Cyrus Tabi, no! Could not finish. And that will end a frenetic first half. Both teams weren't able, well, Abra barely got over the 10-point mark, while Quezon got held to just 9 points in this quarter. What a defensive battle. So far, lamang ang Abra at the half, 28-26.
Steps back into the game. What a commitment he had to make. And what a steal. That way is going to even up the game. 89 in the final moments of the game. Can they make magic? Wipeout wins the game.
Win the game. Easy long with Sports Plus.
Back inside the Brenzigao Convention Center for your Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. My name is Andrea Indicio, and right now we will be having our halftime interview together with Congressman JB Bernos, of course, of the ABRA Solid North Weavers. Thank you so much po, Kong, for joining me here at the half. And Kong, since your team po is the defending champions, kayo po ang nag-set ng standard. Standard na talagang gustong higitan ng lahat ng teams. Pero may narinig po ako na may iniintay pa daw ang ABRA for the regular season. Baka naman po pwede nyo kaming bigyan ng hint o kaya ng clue kung sino ito para naman ma-excite ang fans ng ABRA.
Well, una-una, magandang gabi sa lahat. Well, yung may hinihintay, dami nga namin problema. Una-una, nag-post na nga ako sa social media na parang problema namin, point guard namin. Nakita nyo naman yung low pole ng team. So we're trying to address the current problem of the team, which is yung point guard position nga. So we are in talks with several individuals. So hopefully ma-address namin before the season starts. Pero kung meron man kami dadalhin, let's see. Basta tignan natin.
For sure, aabangan po yan ang mga fans ng ABRA Solid North Weavers. Speaking of fans, meron po ba kayong gustong sabihin sa lahat ng sumusuporta sa inyong team?
Well, nagpapasalamat ako sa sumusuporta sa ABRA Weavers, the whole organization, sa mga fans na walang sawang nanonood, sumusuporta sa team. So just a week ago, we bagged the Junior MPBL Championship. We brought home to ABRA yung Junior MPBL Championship. And after a week, we're again fighting for the championship dito sa preseason. So I guess pag nakuha natin to, ABRA will set a new record again. In a week's time, we garnered 2 championships.
All I can say is wow para sa ABRA. Thank you so much once again, Congressman JB Bernos. Mga kaligaw, wag po kayong aalis. Magbabalik pa rin po ang MPBL.
Easy lang with Force Plus.
Kada half, dalawa lang ang lamang ng ABRA kontra Quezon, 28-26. A low-scoring affair after 2 quarters. Ken Pangilinan po with Coach Mike Perez at courtside. We have Miss Andrea Edicio. Please break down, Coach Mike, what transpired in the first half between these two squads.
Well, it really was about the Weavers taking away what the Huskers have been doing so well. If you look at the number of attempts from the outside, talagang nakontrol yan nitong ABRA Weavers. They couldn't get any shots. To me, that's more concerning if you're Coach Eric, because for a game, they normally would get close to 30 attempts from 3. But right now, they've shot only 10, they made only 1, they're 10% from there, a far cry from their 33% usual makes. And the thing is, pag tinignan mo yung ABRA, ang baba rin naman ng shooting percentage nila. They're shooting, what, only 28%. But still keeping this lead on their side, only because 11 turnovers have been forced on the Quezon Huskers, to which they got 6 points out of it. And the fast breaks, really more of the ABRA Weavers I think 4 points of that 6 really coming from the rim runs of John Oduba. And so you gotta do better at covering that rim run action by the bigs of the Weavers.
We were tied at 17 apiece after the first quarter. But then ABRA barely outscoring QUEZON 11-9 in quarter number 2. Mike Cañete got things started for QUEZON. 7 points in the first half. Will Macaloni has 6. Zed Manzano with 4. Christian Pagaran with 3 points. So not much production in terms of guys having double-digit output in scoring for both squads. Mike Ayon pacing ABRA with 8.
Oh, totoo naman yun. And the danger really of going up against the ABRA Weavers, we talked about their bigs, but they really are not a volume shooting team, but they've been very efficient in their makes. And in this game, clearly a matter of really just the Weavers imposing their will on the Huskers. And if you're the Huskers, you gotta make your shots on the outside, because those short rolls have, in my opinion, worked well for them, especially early in the first quarter.
Tig-6 na puntos si Ildefonso at si Serrano. By the way, happy birthday to Reggie Pineda, Kabalen, Manawang ng Pampanga, part of our technical crew. At happy viewing po kay Emmy Yumulyanga from Macabebe, Pampanga, ang ama ng ating magiting na streaming operator.
Yes. At pwede ko na rin bambatiin, Ken, yung aking pamilya na nasa bahay nila Justin, my eldest. We're gonna have a little party tonight, and so happy viewing to, of course, my wife Doris and my youngest Riley, Justin and Camille, to my granddaughter in Ada, the 2 Bryans, Brian and Alisa, and of course Brian and Ate Len, who cooks very good kare-kare. I can't wait to get there later. And of course our best friends of over the years, Edward Pacificar. I'll see you guys later, okay? Have fun.
Kahabol ka pala.
Oo naman. Kailangan may maabutan akong pagkain doon. Oh, nice move right there by Seth.
Nakalusot si Zed Manzano. Slipping past multiple defenders off that baseline inbounds play.
And that's one action na nahirapang kontrolin itong ABRA Weavers. Yung mga short roll ni Zed Manzano. Little high-low right there. Good help from the back end. But you gotta contend still with John Oduba inside.
By the way, ABRA rolling out a different unit to start the third. Elorde picking the pocket of Abate. That's the 12th turnover against the Huskers. The reverse layup from Tucker Molina.
Well, 12 turnovers, to which they already got 8 points or 9 points out of it. And you got to take care of the ball if you're going up against itong ABRA Weavers.
Same starting 5 for QUEZON, while for ABRA, De Los Reyes, Ildefonso, Elorde, Oduba, and Molina.
So of course, si Cedric lang ang medyo consistent, no, in terms of performance para dito sa Huskers. And he's been leading them on that department. He's got 8 points on a 4 of 8 shooting, 50% from the field, and still got to contend against Drex De Los Reyes. It's the shooters that's missing on the Huskers side, in my opinion, na hinahanap rin ito ni Coach Eric Malamang.
De Los Reyes heading out early here in the third. In comes Raven Gonzalez, matched up against Zed Manzano.
Well, I like to think only because, you know, he's getting outplayed by Zed Manzano for 2 straight possessions already to start the third quarter.
Foul called on Christian Pagaran.
Oh, Nico Lord is a handful. No? Ang hirap rin eh. If you look at his numbers, he's not really that consistent of a scorer from the field, but then again, his true shooting percentage is really close to 60% because he's a very good free throw shooter. And so if he doesn't make a shot and you foul him, you send him to the line, chances are he's gonna make 2 of them.
Si Abate magbababa ng bola, binigay na kay Alcañete. 32-30. Manzano with 8. Abate recovers, being bothered by Elorde. Cañete shooting over John Oduba. His shot off the heel. Abate, multiple shot opportunities. Hierro, the floater won't drop. And finally, the defensive rebound collected by Oduba.
And we talked about the hustle points, really. and the activity, that's where the Huskers make a lot of them. Nico will miss that three. And you see them diving for the rebound here on the Huskers.
Pagaran rejecting the ball screen, drives baseline. Got clipped by John Oduba.
And I think that's the second or the third time already we've seen Christian Pagaran reject a ball screen, instead go to that outer thirds of the floor to try and attack. And each time, you know, ang hirap rin bitawan talaga ng depensa nitong mga Weavers. They always try and stay right in front of you.
Sa poste, Manzano reacquainting himself with Raven Gonzalez. Those two had their battles in the UAP.
Yes. Yeah, I did get to cover them in preseason games. Ang ganda ng labanan niyan sa loob.
Cyrus Tabi splitting two defenders. Cañete. 3 seconds remaining. Tabi hoisting it up.
Man.
And it results into an air ball. Shot clock violation against the Huskers.
There have been 5 possessions already and 5 shot attempts for the Huskers. The only quality shots they got were off those short rolls by Ced Manzano. So, you know, others gotta generate their shots and make them. That's a push.
Bagsak si Uduba ulit.
Bangklasa rin talaga to si John Oduba. Ang bilis length of the floor. Ang bilis rin niya sa half court because of the quick screens that he sets.
Will Macaloni replacing Ced Manzano.
Halos lahat ng position undersized ng Quezon Huskers. If you look at it. Even on the guard, you know, Cyrus and Nico, maybe konti lang, pero ramdam mo. This is a good matchup right here.
Molina is right now playing as a small forward. Locates Raven Gonzalez, who scores underneath.
Well, we talked about him being underutilized early this preseason. The upside is pretty huge for a Tucker Molina.
He mentioned how he's been trying to adjust playing the 3 and the 4. Took the 3 there, no good. Ball goes back to Quezon.
Alam mo kung ano impressive dito kay Tucker Molina? See this move right here. It goes behind the back, puts in all the moves, and finally dishing it on that 45 cut from the elbow, giving it up for Raven Gonzalez.
Play of the game brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL.
Tucker Molina's effective field goal percentage is roughly high at around the 60%. And so you know the guy can shoot from both the perimeter, the paint, and from the threes. And if you have a big man that's got good handles and that size and that vision, it is tough to cover.
And Lefonso picks up his first foul. Watch on the weak side. Oh, yun.
Oh, yeah.
Tinamaan niya si Judel Fuentes. Clearly inadvertent.
Yes.
Kasi nag-backpedal bigla si Judel eh.
Oo.
Akala ni Davey was going one way, then went to the other.
Gusto rin makarecover ng balance, syempre, no?
What a
Nice
pass! Fuentes, set up job to Mike Cañete for the deuce.
And you love that quick decision of that quick curl. Well-timed cut on that 45 from the elbow by Mike Cañete. What a play.
4 minutes gone by in the third. Ildefonso turns it over. He wants a challenge. The bench of ABRA.
Yeah, I thought that went off Judel. It was clearly on Judel.
Kaya naman napatayo sila dun.
Oh, kasi hindi na nga hinabol ni Dave eh.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, clearly.
Fuentes,
There you go.
off his knee. Long three-point shot by Dave is off.
I'm sure you would have said the same kung ganun yung nangyari. Sa kanya tumama, hindi sa akin.
Chance for Quezon to tie again or even take the lead on this possession. Fuentes. Dario pops out, swings it. Banal got rejected by Tucker Molina. The length of Molina showing right there. Ildefonso
I say the length of the Weavers really making it difficult para dito sa Huskers. Ang layo nung close out na yun, ano?
May foul na itatawag laban sa Quezon.
See that block again. That's that one more pass. Oh, wow.
Had a lot of ground to cover, but
Yeah.
like you said, the length was clearly a factor. Ildefonso, just 2 of 5 at the line. Manny Pay is the digital wallet built for the community.
And clearly, you surround Dave Ildefonso with this, lengthy players with that reach and that athleticism. It relieves a lot of the pressure on Dave and allows the other guys for some contributions on their end of the floor.
Dario,
Nice.
pinasa kay Gabanal, libre sa 3. Can't get it. And Lorde hands it off to Tucker Molina. Working on Gabanal, step back. Give and go with Gonzalez. It's sloppy. It results into another takeaway by the Huskers.
I love the defense of Gabanal. He knew that ball was going to go back on that back door to Tucker.
Manzano, top of the key. Fuentes moving well without the basketball. And now, the special delivery to set Manzano for 2.
Well, the shots have not come very easy for the Quezon Huskers, but the good news is Zed Manzano has found a way to make them.
Double-double for Sed. 10 points, 10 rebounds. Molina lines it up and puts it in from downtown.
Oh, my.
Number 5 with 5 points.
Tucker Molina is 55% from 3 this season. Second highest percentage shooting 3 for the ABRA Weavers. Boy, that move right there by Zed wasn't easy. He was rolling to his right side. He was a left-hand finisher. And that shake on that weak side of the floor, little flare for that make 3 by Tucker Molina.
Manzano against Patino this time, backing him down. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Supalpal, inabot niya kay Raven Gonzalez, providing the help on defense.
Multiple rim protections for the Weavers. Mismatch right here on Dave.
Comes it down low. Gonzalez puts it in. Biggest lead of the ball game at 7 points.
They're quick to the ball. They're quick to a decision. They know their reads, weak side guys moving, and everything really just coming in real quick for the Weavers. Dave knew that he had a mismatch, had to go down on the middle, acknowledge that curl under by Raven Gonzalez. And many times that we've seen that work between those 2 big guys for the Weavers.
On the other side though, Judel Fuentes able to fish for a foul while taking a free. So these are going to be 3 free throws for Judel. Meanwhile, let's go to Andrea.
Judel Fuentes mentioned to me the last time he met the Weavers, he wasn't 100% ready. Kung maaalala natin, Game 3 lang nakalaro nung final si Judel as he had to rest out his injury for 2 weeks. Walang ensayo siya nung sumabak ng Game 3. This caused him to have a lot of what-ifs. Siguro kung andun ako ng Game 1 and 2, iba yung naging resulta. Siguro kung nakapa ako ng ayos yung laro ng ABRA, siguro mas nakatulong ako. The list goes on and on. And so seeing ABRA once again makes him want to redeem himself. But he said with this new team, he has just a little bit more time and just a little bit more chemistry. Back to you guys.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. Judel Fuentes injured his ankle back in game number 4 in that South Division final series against Binyan. And gaya ng binanggit ni Andrea, missed out on game number 5 against Binyan din. Games 1 and 2 against Quezon. But I think he's pretty much excited, no? Siya rin mismo really push for the addition of a guy like Cyrus Tabi on their roster. And now, even with the departure of certain key players, there's a lot to work with on this talented roster of Quezon. But meanwhile, Batino scoring once again in the paint itong ABRA.
And clearly, if you're a Quezon Husker fan and hopeful, you know, the hope really is dumating na yung pagkakataon ng yung oras at chemistry para dito sa mga manlalaro ng Quezon Huskers. And, you know, one of the fans of the Quezon Huskers have been very hopeful is Coach John Mark Hayag, who's always watching our games. And clearly, yung report na yun, this beautiful pass once again by the Weavers. You know, the timing and the chemistry that gusto sanang mapaaga dito ni Judel Fuentes para sa kanila.
LGR is the official outfitter of the MPBL. Quezon behind by 6.
Oh, man.
Wraparound pass. Fuentes to Macaloni. Basket and 1.
Well, Judel Fuentes clearly has converted himself to a facilitator right here. Twice already we've seen him, you know, give out a good dime, look away pass. Again, that pass this time for Will Macaloni. Timed that pass real well, timed that roll very well, waited for that secondary defender of Raven to commit before he dished it off.
He's always had that in his repertoire, Coach Mike. Pero he chose to take a back seat a bit when LJ Gonzalez was there for Quezon.
Totoo.
Pero ngayon, nakita mo, no, yung playmaking skills lumalabas ulit. And we've seen him set up Macaloni and Seth Manzano time and time again. He has 4 assists in this ball game.
Oo. At saka kung if they've really forced Judel Fuentes, no catch, oh my. As I was gonna mention about catch and shoot threes, Nico Elorde hits one from top of the key. And if you get him making those shots, it is, you know, going to be a handful to take on the guard spot. Will Macaloni continue to go to work? See that pass right there, Encho, you know, understanding that there was a pass at the top, little jab going right, and that quick catch and shoot situation for Nico Elorde.
Mayroon tayong challenge. Galing kay Coach Yong Garcia. Malaman natin yung sagot kung tama siya sa aming pagbabalik.
Upon review, the challenge was successful.
Successful challenge from Coach Yong. Walang foul pero mananatili yung possession sa Quezon.
Oh yeah, that other foot move.
Yun yung kinokontest nila na dapat traveling.
Yeah.
Macaloni gives it up to Abundo.
See how tight they guard Judel Fuentes. They are not leaving him room, whether he's on ball. Oh, what a finish by Jason Opiso.
Pero gusto mo yung ginawa naman nilang adjustment doon, Coach Mike.
Yeah. And if nothing coming that side of the floor, you definitely have to attack that defense. Never mind that he's the top rim protection of the ABRA Weavers. You got to give yourself a chance to try to attack it downhill.
Dalang supply ulit yung free throw. Quezon, as a team, having trouble at the line. 9 out of 14. ABRA not much better. 8 out of 14.
At saka ang concerning dito is, you know, so far dito sa third quarter, nakaka-4 na 3-point attempts pa lang itong itong Huskers. Raven Gonzalez on that roll as everybody was busy trying to defend outside. That paint was pretty much open for a big man, a roller in Raven.
Popiso, Mintis. Abra up by 6. Foul underneath. We go the other way. Offensive foul against Alfred Batino.
And Alfred Batino, that's one of the things though that the Weavers have been doing, trying to get a quick seal underneath habang pababa pa lang yung bola. And thankfully for the Huskers, Alfred Batino got called for that foul on Will. Oh, that's an offensive foul on Jadel.
Ganun din.
Yeah.
Tulak. Jockeying for possession down low.
Yeah. And only because Nico Elorde was giving him a hard time. He was fronting him. And wala rin namang pasa pa love sa kanya because didn't have the right angle, and Nico was pretty much very active. See that right there? He was fronting him, and there was that push by Jadel Fuentes. By the time that Will saw him, there was already that offensive foul called on Jadel.
Elorde matched up against Alvin Abundo. Serrano against Pagaran. Using the screen, Ildefonso to Gonzalez. Lista mo na pag ganyang floater galing kay Raven.
Parang halos synonymous sa skyhook ng ni Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, that was pretty old school basketball, pero that floater, I don't think has ever been blocked by anyone. Look at that drive right here. And that elbow floater, that height and that elevation, that air underneath that ball was too high for anyone to even reject.
Easily making more than half of those kind of shots.
Yeah.
Kumbaga sa advanced statistics, Coach Mike, sobrang taas ng clip niya pagdating sa mga ganyang one-hander.
Oo. Kaya naman pagdating sa punto sa loob ng paint, siya ang number 1 dito sa ABRA Weavers. In this preseason, he's got 7 almost guaranteed per game inside the paint because of his activity, and he's resolved to get a rebound and get a stick back.
This is an important defensive possession for Quezon.
Yeah, clearly. You can't afford to go down by 10.
Baseline inbound. Elorde nahanap si Ildefonso. One-legged jumper. He has mastered that shot. Something that he took from beyond the arc to seal the deal and give them the championship in game number 3.
Biggest lead of the game.
Crossover. Abundo. Lefty layup. No good. 2.1 seconds left. Bola mananatili sa Quezon.
Grabe ang size ng ABRA Weavers.
Manzano, Abundo can hit the 3, and that will end the third quarter. What a strong finishing kick by the ABRA Solid North Weavers after a tight start here in the third.
0 out of 4 from 3, 0 out of 2 from the perimeter or the mid-range, and all the baskets have really come inside the paint para dito sa Quezon Huskers. Meantime, itong Weavers, a couple of made threes and shots on the elbow, paint points inside. Sid Manzano did his thing, but guys like Tucker Molina really woke up, and even Raven Gonzalez, to make this the biggest lead of the game so far in favor for the ABRA Weavers. They're up 10.
Steps back into the game. What kind of anything? And what a steal. Tackle is going to keep it up the game. 9 in the final moments of the game. Can they make magic? White Lounge wins the game.
Win the game. Easy long with Force Plus.
A.J. Gonzalez, together with the team managers of Pampanga Giant Lanterns, Ronald Mulod, Guevara, and of course, MPBL President Kenneth Doremdes, Attorney Glenn Gaca, Legal Counsel Head of Security Rudy Distrito, Head of Operations Aldi Relubid, and the Commissioner Emer Orreta. And Kong Jamie Bernos with Congresswoman Jane Bernos. Sports Plus is the official sportsbook of the MPBL. Scan the QR code to play or visit www.sportsplus.ph. Just wanna send out greetings. Happy birthday to the lovely wife and the better half of Coach Christian Luanzon.
Oh, yes.
Marie. Also, J-Boy Gob of the Rizal Central Mall Golden Coolers. Joem Sabandal, former San Juan Knight. Ang ating batikan na referee na si Jofit Okfemia. Maligayang bati sa inyong lahat.
At patuloy na happy viewing din sa ating kaibigan, si Coach Joseph Dion. At congratulations kay Tyler, his son, who scored, I think, 46 points in a league in Cebu. His son plays for St. Robert's International College. I don't understand that 30 of those 46 points have come from the three-point area. Na-score ni Tyler. How about that for that young kid?
Ildefonso got fouled, made the first, missed the second. See the quarter scoring here. Tabla tayo ng first quarter, but Abra unti-unti lumayo at the tail end of that second period and then broke away in the third. That's why they have this 11-point lead, 53-42.
And they have that penchant of using that third quarter run to create that separation, no? Itong Abra Weavers, that's their biggest scoring quarter in this game. And no shooters are actually getting free for the Huskers. See that closeout right there.
Yero is free, clanking off the rim. Rebound number 5 for Dave Ildefonso.
They are not giving an inch sa mga shooters nitong Quezon Huskers. You see the very aggressive closeouts. No catch and shoot. You have to put that ball on the floor if you want to create.
6 seconds left sa shot clock ng Abra. Serrano. Ildefonso off the bounce. Trying to dish it off. Quezon able to get the basketball. Cañete. Free for a free.
Yeah.
It's good.
Time and time again, Mike Cañete has bailed them out of droughts. Manina had 4 points in the first half, and now this crucial three to trim this down to an 8-point deficit.
Elorde using that Gonzalez screen. Off the left, Serrano, malakas yung tres. May tulak laban kay Alfred Batino. Bola babalik sa Quezon.
Alfred gets his rest. Now in comes a couple of very lengthy and active big men. See the shot right here. One of the very rare catch and shoot situations for the Huskers. And Mike Cañete recognizing that he's got that space. He's within his range. He's open, in balance, and he has to take it.
Joshua Yero popping out was Sed Manzano, who has a double-double already of 10 points and 12 boards. Pagaran swatted away by Raven Gonzalez, who comes away with block number 2.
Did you see that switch? Those were a couple of big men going against Christian Pagaran. John Oduba and Raven Gonzalez.
Manzano, shot fake. Ball stolen away by Abra. That's the 14th turnover against the Huskers. Sorry, 16th turnover.
I love the activity of Sed Manzano right there. Quickly checking on Raven Gonzalez. He now goes out. Will Macaloni goes in.
So si Macaloni kasama si Christian Pagaran, Diego Dario, Mike Cañete, and Joshua Yero. Elorde getting past Diego Dario, can't convert. Cañete the rebound. Gets it back from Diego Dario. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth.
Oh, man.
Another steal. Gonzalez is ahead. And he will lay it up and in. He has yet to miss from the field. 12 points, 6 of 6.
Diego had the right thing in mind to keep that pass very low. Pero yung effort ng deflection na yun para kay Raven Gonzalez and that reach allowed him to get that deflect, that steal, and that finish in the open floor.
Macaloni sumugod, running into traffic. Acaloni with his 6th turnover after whistled for a traveling violation. Look at those long arms
yes.
of Gonzalez playing the passing lanes.
Tsaka yung baba ng pasa, no? Para ma-reach mo yung ganon. Shows a lot of his length, his dexterity, and his handles going down the floor.
Molina. Nahanap pa ni Gonzalez si John Oduba. And now, we have the biggest lead for ABRA at 12 points, 57-45.
And even at a point where you felt that the Huskers really made it difficult for anything to happen, you know, things really just falling the way of the ABRA Weavers. Good deflect right there and a good double. Pero just in time for Raven to release it over for John Oduba to finish it off going glass.
We'll be right back after this short break. QUEZON with a timeout. Sports Plus is the official sports book of the MPBL. So scan the QR code to play or visit www.sportsplus.ph. Happy to have you with us here on a Saturday night. Raven Gonzalez with 12 points, 7 boards. Still perfect from the field, 6 out of 6. Cañete siya rin may 12 points at 4 rebounds para naman sa QUEZON. Pero sila'y naghahabol ngayon, down by 12. Lot of time left though here in the fourth.
Yeah, still a lot of time.
Si Tabi pinasok na rin dito. Cyrus Tabi though, scoreless so far, has played only 7 minutes.
Look at that switch. Oh my.
Gonzalez ulit nakaagaw para sa ABRA.
They really just can't get past that middle of the floor defense, especially with Raven getting involved.
Pagaran trying to contain Dave Ildefonso. DI lost it. Pagaran.
Good defense right there by Christian.
ManiPay is the digital wallet built for the community. Counter steal by Dave. Pagaran giving chase. And ball goes back to QUEZON.
You have to love the effort of Pagaran, not giving up on that play. Had a little fumble, but stuck with it and forced that turnover in favor for the Huskers.
Gabanal also coming in. Ildefonso got warned. For staring down referee Alan Manzano. 6:20 left. Cyrus Tabi, Will Macaloni, Gabanal, Judel Fuentes, and Sed Manzano. Fuentes, catch and shoot. Can't get that one to fall. Macaloni picks up his first foul. Si Macaloni rin, mawawarningan dito. Approaching 6 minutes. In the fourth, ABRA remains on top by 12 points.
They go zone now.
Gonzalez back to Tucker Molina. Floating it up, no. Fight for the rebound, Manzano comes away with it. Banal. Manzano at the elbow. Ball tapped. And a foul will be called on Dave Ildefonso.
Yeah, and Dave refusing to get screened. This was that short pass again. Very similar activity. This was the finish.
Fast break, the game is brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL. Four seconds left sa shot clock ng Quezon. Fuentes. Oh wait, was there a foul? Yes, it was called on Saint Manzano.
Del Fuentes was under a lot of pressure. Once he put that ball on the floor, he had Tucker Molina right in front of him. He was an arm's length away, tried to create space, pero activity rin ni Tucker Molina, nakaka-recover.
Peña Redondo making his first appearance here with 5 minutes and change in the fourth. So Coach Eric Gonzalez trying to find a spark, but they haven't found the answer to Raven Gonzalez. 14 points, 7 of 7 from the field.
Somebody has to patent that high arcing floater. Oh man.
Here we go, Ildefonso will slam it home! Raise the roof, says Kong JB.
And that middle pass for that roller down middle of the lane has been in traffic for a lot of times. And they just kept on going at it. Another steal right here, Dave Ildefonso going for the finish.
Fast break of the game is brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sportsbook of the MPBL. The thunderous jam by DI, and it's now a 16-point lead for the ABRA Solid North Weavers, much to the delight of Kong JB Bernos. Quezon forced to call a timeout, and we'll be right back after this short break. A tight first half, Coach Mike, but then ABRA showing out their fangs here in the last 2 quarters.
Oh yes, definitely. And then they're doing it on the defensive end on the floor. They're not just executing schemes and sets. They're starting off with their activity, refusing to get screen, not allowing a catch-and-shoot situation, allowing the shooters to put the ball on the floor, and then getting help once that ball goes inside. And a lot of coaches watching this game right now, one of them being the Quezon City Black Bulls coach, Coach JB Olea. You know, isa na parang nag-i-scout na, pakiramdam ko ito si Coach JB.
Panal under the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Not it off in time. Manzano collects his 11th rebound. Sorry, 14th rebound. And he scores on a putback. 12 points, 14 boards para kay Sed.
Monster game for Big Sed. The guy out of the province of Romblon really showing off that he can take on the big guys of the Weavers, but he's gonna need help from his teammates though.
Gonzalez got rejected. That's the first miss from Raven. Manansala has played only 9 minutes.
Yeah, because of matchup situations. I mean, the length really and the size of the Weavers forcing, you know, very limited minutes para dito kay Jolo.
ABRA with a timeout. They're still up by 14. Vice Gov and 2-time MPBL champion coach Dennis Delta Pineda.
I remember those games na ginawa dito si Kong JB Bernos.
And Congresswoman Ching Bernos, happy viewing daw kay Lowell Briones, a PBA legend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Happy viewing.
Under 4 minutes left, Uduba jacking up a free. Shot clock was an issue, but another offensive rebound. 15 offensive rebounds para sa ABRA. Creating a lot of shot opportunities. Tucker Molina was hammered from behind.
I like how the Huskers are responding here on the defensive end of the floor. You know, a little bit more ping on their movement, you know, more force on their closeouts and their recoveries.
Isa pang pinasok ni Coach Eric, si Topeng Lagrama. Did not suit up at all in the first 3 quarters.
And you see the frustration on Cyrus Tabi. You know, it's been a long night. You go up against the bigs of the ABRA Weavers, then you have to contend with the other tough guard in Nico Ilorde of the Weavers. But again, if you're the Huskers, this is a good response.
Extreme ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 2 for 2 at the line for Tucker Molina.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, time is not on the side of the Huskers, so you got to get stops real quick and score in bunches.
But these are, with the exception of Topeng Lagrama, all new players for Quezon. Cañete, Manansala, Seth Manzano, and Joseph Peña-Redondo. Peña-Redondo, pull-up jumper, short.
Oh,
Fight
boy.
for the rebound. It's a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing to the Huskers.
Grabe, wherever that missed shot is, it's almost always guaranteed that Seth Manzano is going to be in there battling it out. I mean, that shot was an air ball, but he had to run that other side of the floor to claim that missed shot.
Cholo, malakas yung tira. Rebound ulit ni Seth, pero naagawan siya ni Nico Ilorde.
The quality of shots have been tough for the Huskers because of the defense of the Weavers.
Approaching the 3-minute mark. Here in the 4th. Molina again got fouled. Tucker Molina did not even attempt a field goal in the first half. Now has 7 points.
And all the points so far of itong ABRA Weavers have been, in this 4th quarter, exclusive inside the paint. They've been aggressively attacking inside.
Molina hits the free throw. The run of dominance by ABRA for over a year. Like we said, last loss they had was March 19 of last year. But also important to note that there were a lot of games, particularly in the playoffs, Coach Mike, that they got tested. They dealt with adversity. It wasn't a walk in the park always. And that's what's more impressive. When you see that things weren't going their way, they found something from within and pull it out.
Yeah, and yung last season, you know, in the tests, you know, in the playoffs, see a shot taken right there. Really built their character.
Sipin mo, nung first round, nung game number 2, they fell behind in the 4th quarter against Ilagan Isabela.
Yes.
Had to dig deep in that matchup.
Yes.
And then it was a physical series against Caloocan in the 2nd round.
Yes.
And then they went up against one of the Cinderella teams in the North Division Finals, the Pampanga Heatwaves. Sorry, the Pangasinan Heatwaves. Napagpalo ko pa.
Yeah, the Heatwaves were tough then.
Diba?
Ano rin eh, laban din. Pero again, these guys are just able to dig deep. And then look at, I mean, we've said a lot.
Last 2 minutes brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sports book of the MPBL. And then those 3 grueling games they had against Quezon, like we said, could have gone either way, each of them. Game number 1 where they fell behind by double digits in the fourth.
Right.
Forced overtime. And even nung overtime period, kung maalala mo, Coach Mike, Quezon scored the first 8 points. They were ahead by 8 in the extra period.
Yeah.
But ABRA scored the last 9 points. And then it was an equally tricky game in game number 2 and then in game number 3. Going on the road against the Huskers where they had multiple shots of winning and extending that series. But Ildefonso and Serrano making key plays, big shots down the stretch.
And I clearly remember the message of the coaching staff of the ABRA Weavers. They said, you got to give it to the Quezon Huskers because they gave them a tough time in that series. But talagang iba rin yung naging performance nitong Weavers.
And they've lost a lot of players from that championship run. Jason Brickman, Jeo Chu, Cholo Mendoza, Mark Yee, CJ Austria,
right?
And Joshua David. However, they have retooled their roster as well with the additions of Drex de los Reyes, Tucker Molina. And like Andrea mentioned, meron pa rin paparating.
Oo nga.
Meanwhile, Quezon, their run here in the preseason, nothing to scoff at. Battle it out with Batangas City in the semifinals. But you could clearly see that they're still working things out with this new look.
Right. Tsaka I think, there are a lot of takeaways in the preseason. I'm sure not just the Quezon Huskers, even the other teams that have gotten in here and understood if this is the level of competition, we got to make adjustments.
We have a timeout. We'll be right back. Back with us here at the Brenzy Giao Convention Center. And ABRA looks like they will extend their winning run to 46 games. And this while holding Quezon to just 5 points here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's the thing. They only made 1 3-pointer, and that was by Mike Cañete. And that other basket underneath by Ced Manzano. And everything else have been tough quality shots, which they didn't have really good look. I felt they were out of balance. I felt the shots were rushed only because the defense really just kept going at them.
Well, just going back to our conversation about Quezon, marami ring nawala sa kanila. LJ Gonzalez at the top of that list. Simon Sandagon, Joseph Gabayni, Vince Magbuhos. You see MPBL President Kenneth Durendes having a conversation with Governor Dennis Delta Pineda. Well, Gozo, JP Sarao. So those are key pieces in Coach Eric Gonzalez's rotation. And then you add like unfamiliar faces who are obviously talented, but it will take some time for that chemistry to develop for them. But again, exciting times for the Huskers with the additions of Ced Manzano, who had a double-double today, 12 points, 16 rebounds. Abate still finding his way. Cyrus Rabi as well. Manansala who had an impressive preseason, didn't have it here.
Yep.
But Kong JB Bernos will take this win, and they lord it over here in the preseason. ABRA winning it against QUEZON 67-47.
And that win streak stays alive. They get another title this time here in the preseason. And I'm going to tell you, Ken, they're going to mark this date today. See, Raven Gonzalez just kept going at it for the ABRA Weavers. Those couple of steals have been clearly the key differentiator to start off games in the third quarter for the ABRA Weavers.
Best player of the game is brought to you by Sports Plus, the official sportsbook of the MPBL. Raven Gonzalez, a perfect outing with 14 points, 9 rebounds, almost a double-double, 7 of 7 from the field. ABRA pulverizing QUEZON here in this finals matchup, 67-47, and their unbeaten run continues here in the MPBL. And the string of dominance seems like it will never stop until someone will find an answer to this juggernaut of a lineup by the ABRA Solid North Weavers. Let's go courtside to Andrea.
Maraming salamat, Ken. First of all, Raven, congratulations. First half, medyo dikit pa yung laban, but come the second half, naiba yung demeanor ng team, especially ikaw. You were even perfect from the field tonight.
Syempre nung halftime, parang close game pa kami, pero once we get to the locker room, talagang nilid lang din kami ni coach. Yun nga, nag-adjust kami sa... Yun, nag-adjust kami sa game plan din nila, and yun, napag-usapan namin yung mga lapses din namin, and doon na kami nag-adjust for the second half.
And also, Raven, you guys just bagged the preseason championship. Napakagandang head start, ano? But looking back for the journey of this preseason para sa ABRA, no? Anong naitulong, anong mga natutunan ng team na kaya nyong gamitin sa regular season?
This is great experience din for us. Syempre, last year parang I think 2 games lang yung preseason namin. So kumbaga parang this preseason it's like a warm-up to us for the regular season, and ang laking tulong nito kasi nakita na namin yung mga lapses namin, yung mga kailangan pa namin i-improve, and ayun, we're gonna work on that.
And I'm sure your fans are looking forward to see you guys sa ating regular season. Ngayon, meron ka ba mga gustong batiin o pasalamatan? Go ahead.
Yes, syempre super thankful ako kila Boss JB and Boss Ching na nandyan ngayon nanonood, and sa buong mga ABRA na nanonood dyan. Thank you po sa inyong lahat. Syempre, pasalamat din po ako sa family, and syempre kay God, syempre kila mama ko, kila kapatid ko, sa girlfriend ko, sa lahat ng mga kapamilya ko po. Thank you po.
Thank you so much. Once again, that was Raven Gonzalez, our best player of the game, brought to us by Sports Plus, the official sportsbook of the MPBL. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. Congratulations to Raven Gonzalez and the ABRA Solid North Weavers dominating this 6 weeks of preseason action. We've had 77 games, 28 game days, Coach Mike. And as a whole, what do you think of how the preseason went by here in the MPBL?
I feel it's exceeded expectations. Everybody thought that, these are just exhibition games for teams to try things out. But really, the preseason, I think in one point you mentioned na parang in-tournament, in-season tournament na siya eh. That's really how it felt like. So no game came in very easy. And the tough teams have really competed and made good use of this opportunity to prepare for the regular season.
And now we turn you over to our game announcer, Miguel Pere, for the awarding ceremonies.
And once again, mga kaliga, let's give it up for the 2026 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Preseason Invitational Champions, the ABRA Solid North Weavers. Please proceed to the center court, the ABRA Solid North Weavers, for the awarding ceremonies. Once again, congratulations to the ABRA Solid North Weavers. Number 1, David Defonso. Number 2, Enzo Serrano. Number 3, Harley Baldo. Number 4, Nico Elorde. Number 5, Tucker Molina. Number 8, Mike Ayonayon. Number 9, Raven Gonzalez. Number 10, Josh Asuncion. Number 12, Kian Lee. Number 13, Zorel Gonzalez. Number 20, Jay Yutuk. Number 23, Redel Fabro. Number 24, John Oduba. Number 30, Alfred Batino. Number 45, Vidal Trinidad. And number 88, Rex de los Reyes. And at this time, we'd like to call on the center court, the MPBL Commissioner, Emerson Oreta. Once again, let's give it up for the MPBL Commissioner, Mr. Emerson Oreta, for the awarding of trophy. Once again, your 2026 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Preseason Invitational Champions, the ABRA Solid North Weavers. And now, let's proceed to awarding of the tournament MVP. Averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Our 2026 Manny Pacquiao's MPBL Preseason MVP is other than the Sheriff, Dave Ildefonso.
Dave Ildefonso again bagging the MVP award in the MPBL Invitational Preseason Invitational, and capping off his marvelous stint with that thunderous dunk. Wow.
Once again, congratulations to the Manny Pacquiao's
An impressive
MPBL
run for Dave,
Preseason
adding on to his
Dave
accolades here
Ildefonso.
in the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League as they eye another championship for the ABRA Solid North Weavers. But, man, what a run this was for Kong JB Bernos, Coach Yong Garcia, and the rest of the guys. What do you think of this edition of ABRA, Coach Mike?
Well, you heard Raven Gonzalez said, na-figure out pa namin kung anong kailangan ayusin at baguhin. And that's the scary part, because you'd like to think that this preseason, they've been pretty solid, they've been pretty seamless, you know, with a little bit of some few things maybe that they can change, and really the upside for these ABRA Weavers.
And our MVP is with Andrea Indicio.
That is right, Ken. Dave, first of all, congratulations. You were MVP last season. MVP ka ulit ngayong preseason. How do you feel about that?
Ako sobrang grateful lang talaga ako kasi I came into this preseason, kasi gusto ko talaga yung team, as a team, I've been trying to create for my teammates, and kasi bago yung mga teammates ko, so I've been trying to help gel with the team talaga. So I haven't been yun nga, sobrang masaya lang ako kasi thankful ako kay God kasi yun nga, binigay niya pa rin sa akin to. Pero hindi pa rin ako satisfied sa performance ko eh. So hopefully sa regular season, come April 10, yun nga, mas maganda yung performance ko. Pero syempre, itong MVP na to, sobrang testament lang to. Testament lang to sa yung sistema ni Coach Yong, Coach Edsel, Coach Nani, Coach Don, and sila Coach Denok talaga. It's just a testament to the ABRA Weavers talaga.
Also, Dave, let's go back to the game tonight. We saw a little bit of frustration building up during the game, especially in the second half. As an MVP, how do you handle that?
Siguro, I'm trying to control my emotions more. Pero wala, I'm just really passionate about the game. And it's hard not to show emotion. Pero as I get older, mas nakakapagod eh. Mas nakakapagod magreklamo. So hopefully this coming season, mas matone down kayo. And sorry na lang sa mga referee na mga sinasabi ako ng sa mga salita. Sorry talaga. Sa labas naman ng court, di ako ganyan eh. Pero yun nga, heat of the battle ba? Yun lang.
We see your heart for the game, Dave. Do you have any greetings or shout-outs? Go ahead.
Gusto ko i-greet si Pastor. Thank you so much for guiding us spiritually. And itong supportive na kasama ko lagi, na laging out of town man or anywhere, lagi siya nandyan. And yung girlfriend ko nanonood ngayon, I love you. And sa nanay at tatay ko, Tay, ayusin yung free throw ko, puro mintis eh. Pero hopefully, gusto ko lang sabihin thank you kay Kong JB and kay Kong Ching. And gusto ko lang batiin si Marwin. Marwin, sayang, nandito ka. Party ka pa rin ng team namin and mahal-mahal ka namin pare. And yun nga, maraming salamat sa mga taga-ABRA na nag-support. And maraming salamat sa MPBL sa pre-season na to. And hopefully, maka-support pa rin kayo this coming MPBL season 8. Ingat. Yun lang.
Thank you so much. And once again, congratulations, Dave Ildefonso. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
Maraming salamat, Andrea. And Dave Ildefonso continues his fantastic display here in the MPBL. Coach Mike, what do you think of how his journey has gone here in the past couple of years?
Well, the maturity clearly is there for Dave. The admission of minsan kailangan pang ayusin yung free throw niya, but I look at the numbers, he's a 72% free throw shooter now in the preseason, so much better than how he did from season number 7. And just the recognition of teammates and camaraderie and chemistry and being that leader that goes well with his teammates.
And this time, Andrea is with our beloved commissioner, Emma Ureta.
That is right, Ken. And Com-Emmer, we have come to the commencement of our preseason invitational. Ano pong masasabi nyo sa kabuuan ng ating preseason na ito?
First of all, I want to congratulate lahat ng teams na nag-participate sa preseason natin. As you can see, yung energy ng players, coaches, kakaiba eh. So I think all of us are very excited coming to our season 8.
You just mentioned our season 8, our regular season. Now that we are done with our preseason invitational, anong dapat i-expect ng ating fans with the coming regular season?
Ang patunay lang na very exciting tong season 8 natin, itong preseason natin. No? Ang ganda nung pinakita ng mga teams and players. And I think we're gonna have a break for this Holy Week to be with our loved ones. And then come April 10, our opening, I'm sure it's gonna be exciting. And lahat ng teams, I think, we're prepared for these two teams na naglaro sa atin sa preseason finals, which is a rematch ng season 7 natin. Maraming salamat sa lahat din ng MPBL family namin nagtrabaho this preseason ng maaga. Maraming salamat sa inyo lahat.
Last but definitely not the least, what can you say or what is your message to the fans of MPBL?
Ang message ko lang, lagi tayo nagpapasalamat sa kanila. Kung wala sila, alam mo naman, sila ang buhay ng MPBL. So sana lang patuloy ang suporta nila sa MPBL, lalo na itong season 8. At marami tayong mga inihanda para sa kanila.
Thank you so much. And once again, that was our beloved Commissioner, Com-Emmer Ureta. Back to you, Ken and Coach Mike.
A terrific preseason. Serving is a prelude to what could be an interesting and entertaining season 8 here in the Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League. And, well, ABRA lording it over here, dominating this 6 weeks of preseason. And that's gonna do it for us here on behalf of Coach Mike Perez and Andre Endicio and our entire crew. Ako po si Ken Pangilinan. Maraming salamat sa pagtangkilik at pagsubaybay sa Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. See you in 3 weeks.